First and foremost, before we get started, I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekah Quadash, and the Baal Show's great millstone, Wildness is truth, and also to those elect that is scattered abroad. I'd like to say Shalom, and come back here today with another great powerful lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. So the type of day lesson is, the love of many shall wax cold. So I'd like to say Shalom to all our listen and learn. Hope this will help you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. So before we start today's lesson, I have a quick news article here by NBC News. And it reads, it said, manhunt launch for multiple shooters. Said after at least 4 killed and 17 injured in Birmingham. So these things are constantly picking up. Violence is constantly increasing. More mourning, more sorrow. Also, we know that what the body count is getting ready to be great. And also, we are right upon what massive judgment. And the Lord said, first my judgment will start at the house of Israel. You wicked Negroes, you wicked Latinos, you wicked Native Indians. The Lord is getting ready to get his house in order. And one thing about it, amen, we seeing it's happening right before our eyes. The end is being manifest. So let's get a little bit of this news video, and then we'll read a little of the article.
The Alabama manhunt for whoever's behind what police describe as a possible murder for hire plot that led to a mass shooting in Birmingham. 4 people killed, 17 others hurt, dozens of shots fired in that alleged targeted hit. You can see the chaotic scene overnight outside a cigar lounge not far from the University of Alabama at Birmingham. The search is now on for multiple suspects, with local police working with federal law enforcement and the mayor pledging to do everything they can to take these killers off the streets. Our Priya Sridhar is there, and a warning, some of this footage is disturbing.
Tonight, an urgent manhunt underway in Birmingham, Alabama, after authorities say shots were fired outside of a hookah and cigar lounge in a crowded entertainment district just after 11 p.m. Saturday night. Officials say multiple suspects got out of a vehicle and opened fire, killing 4 and injuring 17 others.
You got to go that way. You got to go that way.
Authorities believe the attack was targeted and say a fully automatic weapon was used before the suspects fled the scene by vehicle.
We believe the individual that was targeted is among the deceased. We believe that there was a hit, if you will, on that particular person, as far as, someone was willing to pay money to have that person killed.
Tonight, officials relying on the community and using surveillance video in their search.
We know that there are people in our community who do have information, who know who's responsible, who know what led up to this.
Derek Gunn was near the scene last night.
At first, we thought, what was that? A backfire or something? And then we heard 2 or 3 more, and then we heard the bap, 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 and literally everybody on the patio, we hit the deck. We hit the ground.
And as this community grapples with the tragedy, the search for the suspects goes on.
Our desire, our priority is to take killers and shooters off the streets. We owe it to the victims. We owe it to the victims' families. We owe it to the victims who are no longer with us.
Priya is joining us now, and Priya, officials think the shooters are still in Birmingham?
That's right, Hallie. The police chief tells me he does believe the suspects are in the Birmingham area, and this could potentially be gang-related, but of course, they're still investigating. Hallie?
So we're seeing that we're very close. More increased violence in the land. It's constantly rising. We're seeing evils are growing on every side. The love of many was constantly waxing cold and cold, and also that spirit of vengeance is working overtime. Lord is constantly sending these death angel. The Lord is not playing. It's about to get real. So let's get a little bit of this article. We ain't gonna read too much of it. Let's get, hold on a minute, let's X this out. It says here, a manhunt is underway for multiple shooters who killed 4 people and injured 17 when they fired upon a large group of people in Birmingham, Alabama. Police said Sunday. Police Chief Scott Thurman said multiple people pulled up in a vehicle, got out and opened fire before they got back inside the vehicle to flee. A total of 20 people were shot including 4 people killed. So we right here, a lot of people like love folly, the house of mirth, constantly want to have a great old time drinking and being merry, la 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 la. Then all hell would break loose. While you're sleeping, the devil is constantly bringing it forth left and right, but it's through the spirit and the power of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. So I think that's all we're gonna get of this article. Let's go here and get a quick precept. I have another video we'll show in one moment. Let's get a couple of quick precepts. Let's go here to title of the day lesson, Matthew chapter 24 and verse 12. And it reads, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. That's constantly what we seeing each and every day. We seeing, sin upon sin. We see increase what wickedness, increase what gross darkness. A lot of people hate the good and quick to do evil. That's what we constantly seeing left and right. A lot of people in the house of a mirth, the house of food. It would only lead to their death and destruction. But that's what a lot of people they are constantly being rebellious to this day. These are the days of Noah. We seeing it happening right before our eyes, man. This place is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt because all the wickedness and all the sin and all the abomination, the violence, blood is touching blood. We get that in a minute. It says here, Matthew chapter 24 and verse 12 in the NLT said, sin will be rampant everywhere, and the love of many shall grow cold. So that's what we seeing left and right. A lot of people right now being more cold blooded, more don't have any love in their heart for their brother or for their family. The Lord is causing that division. And one thing about it, it's going to only get worse and worse. It's already, the Lord already said that persecution of the saints to come in your own family will even have you put in prison. Also will have you put to death. So we coming upon this time. We seeing these senseless murders, one behind a mass shooting, police shooting, mother and son, vice versa, all sorts of murder. It's rapid right now. These are the days of Noah. We seeing it left and right before our eyes. So now let's go here and get another one. Let's go here to Hebrews chapter, I think it's Hebrews chapter 4. Hebrews chapter 4. One moment, let's get done, then we'll get another video. Hebrews chapter 4, quick lesson to the spirit and the power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. And once again, I hope that you will get edified. Now let's go to not Hebrew. Let's go here to Hosea, Hosea chapter 4, and we'll start up at let's go straight to the point. Verse 2, Hosea chapter 4 and verse 2. It said by swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out, and blood touches blood. So that's what we seeing everywhere. We seeing violence everywhere in the land. And this place is going to get more and more worse and worse. It's nothing is going back the same. Every time when you turn your flat screen or your smart phone or watch these social media sites, we constantly seeing someone has come unalive, by, is it a family member or a mass shooting or by police brutality? Lord is constantly making it happen. The Lord said, I will choose your delusion because you were that same rebellious house that did not want to return to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. That's why all these things are happening. Judgment is now at hand. Hosea chapter 4 and verse 2 in the NLT, it says, you make vows and break them. You kill and steal and commit adultery. So there is violence everywhere, one murder after another. Hey, man, that's plain and simple. That's what we're seeing left and right. People are getting murdered every day. You know what I'm saying? And one thing about it, the Lord is constantly making it happen. And one thing about it, it's a fearful thing to fall in the hands of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. And one thing about it is that, what I'm saying, do anyone perish being innocent? No, they don't. You know what I'm saying? So let's go here. Let's go here to Zephaniah chapter 3 and verse 5. Let's get this one. Then we'll get another video. Then we'll get a couple more precepts. Then we'll close out. Let's go here. Zephaniah chapter 3 and verse, I think it's 5. Is it 5? No. Zephaniah chapter 3. Let's see where I'm at here. Zephaniah chapter 5, Zephaniah chapter 5 and verse 3. This is Zechariah, Salaki. I'm sorry. I'm a little tired, but bear with me. Zephaniah. I went to Zechariah, so it's 3 and 5. Salakia. Bear with me. We're going to get through this, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai. It says here, Zephaniah chapter 3 and verse 5 says, the just Lord is in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity. Every morning do he bring his judgment to light. He faileth not, but the unjust knows no shame. So the just Lord is constantly bringing forth his judgment each and every day. And one thing about it, we knowing that the Lord said in Matthew chapter 10 that, he come not to bring peace, but a sword. That sword goes into judgment. So we're right here. But it said it said, fail is not. So, the Lord's going to bring that recompense and judgment. The Lord said, vengeance is mine, says the Lord. So the Lord's constantly sending these spirit of vengeance across the world. People are dying horrific ways, and the body count is getting ready to be great. And also we're going to constantly see it increase left and right, a time of trouble that we've never seen before. And also it said the judgment. It said, let's start back up at the top again. It said, the just Lord is in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity. Every morning do he bring his judgment to light. He faileth not, but the unjust knows no shame. So those are the one, they're constantly doing thy will spirit, walking in great pride, lovers of themselves. They're lovers of, all sorts of vanity. So when you go to Romans chapter 1, they love creation more than they love the creator. So one thing about it, we seeing that we hear a bunch of reprobate. And right now they know it's no shame. Those are the 2/3. And the Lord's constantly taking them out left and right. It's constantly getting mad. It's constantly increasing. We're very excited. Our salvation is at the door. Verse 5 in NLT, it said, but the Lord is still there in the city, and he does no wrong day by day. He hands down justice, and he does not fail, but the wicked know no shame. So that's where we at. So the Lord is constantly bringing it left and right. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the Lord has not done? Let's back it up with that. So the judge Lord is constantly bringing forth that judgment each and every day. Recompense and judgment. The Lord's getting ready to repay. It is payday. The Lord's getting ready to repay these 2/3 and also these wicked heathen nations. Started with what? Esau, Edom. So now let's get this one right quick. Then we get another video. Let's go here to Amos chapter. I quoted, I might always get it. Amos chapter 3 and verse, let's see where it's at. Amos chapter 3, shall the trumpet be blown in the city? I think that's right, verse 6. I just didn't have it highlighted. Amos chapter 3 and verse 6, they said, shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord has not done it? So that's what we constantly seeing left and right. So we seeing murder after murder. We seeing mass shooting behind mass shooting. We seeing killing after killing. And one thing about it, the Lord has done it. The Lord has sanctioned it. So the Lord has power over life and death. And one thing about it, the Lord said, I kill, I wound, I make alive. The Lord is doing all these things. We constantly warn you left and right. The Lord is no one to be played with. Let's read in NLT. Said when the ram's horn blows a warning, says, shouldn't the people be alarmed? Does disaster come to a city unless the Lord has planned it? That's right. So the Lord is in perfect control. So we seeing these things that happen. A lot of people, always saying that the Lord is love. The Lord love everyone. Everyone can be saved. But you're in for a rude awakening. The Lord's getting ready to come back and do a whole lot of killing. You know what I'm saying? What? House cleaning. The Lord's getting ready to show up and show out. So now let's get this other video. I got one more video to bring it out with a little bit more edification.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Officer Truman Fitzgerald with the Birmingham Police Department's Public Information Division, and right now our patrol officers and detectives are on the scene of a mass shooting with multiple casualties. Just after 11 p.m., South Precinct officers received a call of multiple shots fired in and around the 2000
now been pronounced deceased at UAB Hospital. So we have a total of 4 deceased victims as of now. From speaking with our officers and speaking with our detectives, we have dozens of gunshot victims from this area. I'm told at least 4 of those gunshot victims are life-threatening. The other have various injuries. Here's what we know so far in this investigation. We believe that multiple shooters fired multiple shots on a group of people in the 2000 block of Magnolia Avenue. There's no one in custody, and we cannot stress to the public how important it is for us to have information in this investigation. We have reached out to our partners with the ATF. We have reached out to our partners with the FBI. You will have a plethora of law enforcement agencies assisting the Birmingham Police Department. And rest assured, we are going to do everything we possibly can to make sure that we uncover, identify, and hunt down who was ever responsible for preying on our people this morning. So, if you have any information, please reach out to Crime Stoppers. That's your best avenue. You can remain anonymous, and you can receive up to $5,000 in cash for your tips.
So we seeing we're having more what? Increased violence, increased iniquity, you know, and man, we seeing once again that we're living in what? In a lawless time, or what? A perilous time. It is here, it is at the door. So now, let's go here, Deuteronomy chapter, get a couple more and we'll close out. Let's go here to Deuteronomy chapter 32, because the Lord is constantly making these things happen. The Lord is in perfect control, and we're constantly warning you left and right. It's time to seek the Lord. Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 39. Let's get this one right quick. Straight to the point lesson. You know, and we every day, you know, we cannot hardly keep up with all these things. Let's read it here. Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 39 says, "See now that I, even he, Salak." Let me start over again. Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 39 says, "See now that I, even I, am he, and there is no power with me. I kill, and I make alive. I wound, and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand." So that's plain and simple. The Lord is calling these things to happen. The Lord said what? He killed, he make alive, he healed. You know what I'm saying? Anyone can escape his hand. No one can escape the hands of who? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. The Lord is in perfect control. The Lord is constantly making these things happen left and right, because the Lord's getting ready to usher in the kingdom of heaven that dwells in righteousness. So let's read this once again. It says, Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 39 said, "See now that I, even I, am he, and there is no power with me. I kill, I make alive, I wound, and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand." Plain and simple. And one thing about it is that a lot of people are living in another world, but one thing about it, they get ready to face reality, because the Lord is getting ready to show forth his great glory, his great power. You know, the fear of the Lord is getting ready to come back upon this earth. Right now, the 2/3, they don't fear the Lord. These heathen nations, they don't fear the Lord. But one thing about it, they getting ready to find out that great fear of the Lord. You know, the only one that fear the Lord is what? The elect, the true believers of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. And one thing about it, they getting ready to know that fear. You know, very soon, the Lord is getting ready to shake this place to the foundation. The Lord is getting ready to cease the arrogancy of the proud. It's coming, you know, because they have walked in great pride. Great misery shall befall them. Let's go here to Hebrews chapter 10. Hebrews chapter 10. Let's get one more out of the blue letter. I'm kind of slow with the blue letter, but you know, I'm used to that other app. But anyway, it will work out. Hebrews chapter 10 and verse, I think it's 29. One moment. Let's get the one here. We'll jump back to the other one, so it'll be a little bit more quicker. It says here, let's see. It's verse 30 and 31. Start here. Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 30. It said, "For we know him that has said, vengeance belongeth unto me. I will recompense, says the Lord. And again, the Lord shall judge his people. So that's what we're seeing right now. The Lord's bringing forth that recompense and judgment right before our eye. And once again, first my judgment will start at the house of Israel. Verse 31, it said, it is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Let's read in NLT. Said, it is a terrible thing to fall into the hands of the living power. So that's, amen. It's a terrible thing. And the Lord's constantly making it happen left and right. You know, and a lot of people right now love folly, going on with their daily lives, still thinking that they're a good case, and the Lord is bringing it forth left and right. It's going to constantly increase. And also we know about World War III is constantly picking up. We're seeing right here in our own backyard, civil unrest, civil war. So man, we can't hardly keep up with all these things. So now let's go here to Ecclesiastes chapter 39, and we read this straight to the point. Verse 28, it said, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. Say, in the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. And that right there, appeasing the wrath of the one that made them, talking about Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. They constantly what? Satisfying the Lord. The Lord is, you know, he's very pleased, you know, what these spirit of vengeance are doing. The Lord has sanctioned it. And one thing about it, when the Lord called you, you know what I'm saying, it's time to go. So no one is going to escape his hand. We're constantly warning you, left and right. The love of many is constantly waxing cold and cold. People are more and more cold-hearted. People are self-willed. People are walking in great pride, covetous, you know what I'm saying, jealous, you know, all sorts of disorder, all sorts of striving, envy. You know what I'm saying? The love of many is constantly waxing cold and cold. You know, people are getting eviler and evilier. You know what I'm saying? And one thing about it, we seeing right now, it said that the wise will understand and the wicked will do wickedly. That's exactly what we see in Daniel chapter 12, verse 10. So let's read this once again. It says, Ecclesiastes Sirach, chapter 39 and verse 28, it said, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. We're seeing it right now. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force. We're seeing it. It said, and appease the wrath of him that made them. So the Lord's constantly sending these death angels left and right. We're seeing right now that judgment is not prolonging anymore. You know, it's nothing long suffering anymore. Things are happening right away. You know, because we seeing that what time is constantly what accelerate. You know what I'm saying? The Lord said for the elect sake, it said these days shall be short. So we're living in the last day, whether you believe it or not. So now let's go to our last and final script. Let's go here to Psalm chapter 78 and verse 49. We'll close out here. Psalm chapter 78. Just quick, let's do the spirit and the power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Psalm chapter 78 and verse 49. And it reads, said, he cast upon them the fierceness of his anger, said wrath and indignation, all righteous anger, and trouble by sending evil angels among them. That's exactly what the Lord is doing. The Lord is bringing forth that what indignation. The Lord is bringing forth that trouble that you had never seen before. Jacob's troubles out there. Also, the Lord is sending those evil angels, the spirit of vengeance. And one thing about it, they are constantly appeasing the wrath of the one that made them. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. That's exactly what's happening. We constantly warning you left and right. While you are scoffing and mocking, the Lord is constantly bringing forth that judgment. You know, the Lord is doing the killing right before our eyes. Oh, the Lord is love. The Lord love everyone. You're in for a rude awakening, and you're going to be put to death. We constantly warn you left and right. You think that this is a game? The Lord is not playing any games. The Lord is getting ready to show you. Let's read this once again. We'll close out. Psalm chapter 78 and verse 49. So he cast upon them the fierceness of his anger, said wrath and indignation and trouble by sending evil angels among them. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So that's what the Lord is constantly doing. We're seeing what the love of men is waxing cold and cold. We're seeing that people are standing in their lot. The Lord is constantly shifting the house. And one thing about it, we knowing that what the body count is getting ready to be great and greater. We're seeing that we're here. There's nothing going back the same. We're going to constantly see this. It's going to constantly pick up. It's going to constantly escalate. And one thing about it, we are constantly hastening his great and glorious return, and we cannot wait. That's why the Lord said, this is not your rest. We're ready for this nightmare to be over. We cannot wait. So the title of the daily lesson, once again, is the love of many shall wax cold. So I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem, Rekah Kwadash. I like to say, Shalom, Shalom.